So the sixth team that I'll be previewing for the 2026 IPL is the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Well, SRH have been preaching, the strategy of go big or go home, last, since the last couple of years. And last year, they continued with that, and they did go home, because it didn't work out. They came out by trying to bat in a way that they wanted to score 300 every game, trying to negate the pitch and play the same brand of cricket with no sense whatsoever, and just try to outbeat the opposition based on batting. And that clearly did not work. So they had that firepower batting lineup that was capable of scoring 250 to 60 to 70, because they had Head, Abhishek, Ishan Kishan, Klaasen, sab aise, firepower batters, and they came in with the intention of scoring every game those kinds of runs. But they came in with a bowling attack that was, ready to concede more than that. So I think the most natural reaction to that from whatever happened last year should have been going into the auction with the third highest purse, by the way, and buying a good quality couple of bowlers that would help, Pat Cummins, because you already have the batting. But Kavya Maran and SRH staff, or whatever, my entire management, just decided that, you know what, let's go and buy the English Maxwell and increase that batting even more, so that that bowling attack that is conceding so many runs, we've got another batter to cover. So I don't know what thinking that is, to kind of spend 13 crores on Liam Livingstone. That was their biggest buy, by the way, and kind of the only buy that can be talked about, because apart from that, they got Shivam Mavi, a player that you would know. Jack Edwards was one that they had a little bit of a small bidding war for. I don't know where they're going to play him. So obviously that, and Salil Arora नाम का एक wicketkeeper batsman लिया है. उनके अलावा there was four uncapped bowlers that they got at base price. That nobody, मतलब, yeah. So with third highest, I think it was Purse going into the auction after KKR and CSK, SRH has managed to do this. So, I mean, I think they bid for almost every big buy that went and ended up getting out of it, and then ended up winning the bid of Lime Livingston. So, I don't know what the thinking behind that is completely. They've got a solid top four. They've got Nitish Reddy, who's, I don't know what player he is. Like, what does he actually do better than the other? Is he a batting all rounder? Is he a bowling all rounder? He probably is a batting all rounder, but his batting is not as good to begin with. So you can see where the bowling is. So I think he's a little bit of an incomplete player, but he's there. मतलब, in that team, Aniket Verma है, who had a breakout season last year. तो इस सब में तुमको लिविंगस्टन कहाँ पे बिठाना है, जबकि आपकी बॉलिंग अटैक में पैट कमिंस के अलावा there is Harshal Patel, who's decent, and there you're still playing a fucking Unadkat. Like, I don't understand the entire logic behind that and what they tried to do, and what that entire thing was. I feel like it is just stupid. Like, what these kind of mistakes that you would see Punjab do over the years, I think that is what I can see right here, because bowling आपके पास है ही नहीं, और फिर भी आप ऐसे बैट्समैन के ऊपर पैसे डाल रहे हो जो खुद ही ऐसा है, जो बिल्कुल भी, मतलब, I don't think RCB won last year. He's by the way, the defending champion team का एक player, but he played for RCB last year. He played the final as well, but in the entire team that was doing so well, one player that was completely out of, like, he was like polar bear in Texas, was Liam Livingston, because he was, uh, I mean, whenever he got the opportunity, he was not able to do anything out of it. He came into the IPL, I think, way back, and played for Rajasthan as an opener, and after that, he built the reputation of a finisher, of a middle order player who bowls both off spin, leg spin. But I mean, that's the name that I put him, is the English Maxwell. He just has that big show vibe to him, and that he has the ability to hit the ball that way, but he does not when it comes when the situation demands him to, and he is really needed to do it, he does not do it. So I don't understand what the logic was, and they paid 13 crores for that. I don't understand that. So I'm just glad that CSK didn't get him. To be very honest, I thought that he might be the player that CSK will go for, and I was starting to make myself prepared. Ki okay, Livingstone अपनी team के लिए खेलने वाला है, but I'm just glad that he's not there. Livingstone going to SRH, I mean, they've just added strength to that batting in some way, and that bowling attack is completely useless now. One bowler, foreign bowler, जो आपके पास ईशान मलिंगा नाम का था, who had done decently well for you last year, उसको आप कहाँ पे खिलाओगे, आप मेरे को पता नहीं, क्योंकि they have got Klaasen, Head and Cummins, three fixed foreign players in that team, and 13 crore का लिविंगस्टन मुझे नहीं लगता बेंच पे बैठने के लिए है. So I don't know where. So Malinga I don't think can play that Ishan Malinga. So it's again after like if I have to talk about their best 12, Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, Ishan Kishan, Nitish, Reddy, Klaasen, Aniket Verma 6 and Livingstone 7, Pat Cummins at 8. यहाँ तक आपके पास मतलब Cummins can also bat, so वहां तक आपके पास बैटिंग की डेप्थ है. उसके बाद you go to Harshal Patel. I think they'll play Shivam Mavi now that they've bought him because they don't really have anybody else. Simarjeet was playing for them last year. He got released. So there's Unadkat, who's still somehow there. They have to go with some 30 lakh base price domestic player buy in his place. And then the impact player, whoever the spinner is, would be one of Zeeshan Ansari and Harsh Dubey. So either the leg spin of Zeeshan Ansari, I think he played 10 games for them last year, so it might be him. And but Harsh Dubey has done well in domestic, so I think it's one of those two that'll get picked uh, to make this 12. तो आप अगर ऐसे bowling attack देखते हो तो Cummins, Harshal Patel, and then what? Shivam Mavi, I don't think none of these players in that bowling attack, apart from Cummins and Harshal Patel, would start for any of the other 9 franchises in their bowling attack. Each and every one have a better team, have a better player for any position. So I think they have clearly the worst bowling attack. And I don't know how, with that purse, they've managed to just keep it worst and made it even worse because they haven't added anything to it. They've added Jack Edwards, who I don't know where he plays. They already have got Brydon Carse, who again is another foreign player. आपको अगर एक स्पिन बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर एट 6-7 चाहिए था, आपके पास ऑलरेडी कमिंडू मेंडिस थे. He doesn't play now. So the inclusion of Liam Livingstone does nothing to this team, but just that it's a name that is known, and I don't get it. So for me, I think that was it's probably the stupidest buy of the IPL. I might be completely wrong, and he might do better than what I'm saying, but not completely wrong. I won't be little wrong if I am, but yeah, it's just I mean, I personally didn't understand. I think that was the weakness that cost you a spot. I mean, they finished sixth. They were worse than that. I think it looks like just 2 spots away, but I think they were never in the competition to qualify last year, anyways. So I mean, I don't understand how they're still sticking to whatever strategy they've decided. It's a good thing that you have one way of playing that you've decided and you're trying to stick to that. But the way it is backfiring to you on you, and to add to that, it's like I mean, it's just completely senseless brand of cricket. So even if T20 cricket is about playing aggressively and trying to score a lot of runs and just going for big shots, it still demands some sort of stance in it. You're not trying to just hit every ball out of the park without looking at what it really demands. So for me, I think I mean, they have got Abhishek Sharma, which is a big strength. The way he's playing right now, Travis Head Travis Head is someone who, I mean, he has his ups and downs after that 23 World Cup. I think it's not been that same for him. I think last season was not that good, but he's still there. Klaasen is retired from international, but again, he's one of the best T20 players in the last 3-4 years in that middle order position. So I feel like that is a strength. So that top order is a strength with Kishan at three. He's done really well in the domestic setup. So Ishan at three, Head Abhishek opening, Klaasen, whether he bats 4 or 5, whatever, wherever he bats, that is strong. Finisher, well, I'll go to the weaknesses later. That is the strength, that middle order. Pat Cummins is a very good player to have. I think he's one of the good players to have at number 8. The kind of experience he brings is a good captain. Bowls, I mean, he hasn't had a great. He didn't have a great IPL last year, but again, obviously, you know the quality of the player, but he's missed a lot. He played just one game in the Ashes. He's missing the next tour before the World Cup. He is, I mean, declared to be fit to play the World Cup, but I mean, he's returning from an injury, so that is one slight area where I feel is a little weakness. Apart from the entire horrendous bowling attack that they have, which is the biggest liability that they have. So अगर तुम 250 बना रहे हो तो ये bowling attack 250 खा भी लेगा. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि आपने मतलब वो सेंस में लिया है, बट आई स्टॉप बीटिंग अराउंड द बुश. दैट इज व्हाट आई मीन. नो गुड क्वालिटी ऑफ पेसर्स. स्पिनर है ही नहीं कोई. तो आई मीन लाइक देयर इज नो लाइक आई seriously don't understand. Warindu Asranga went for base price to LSG. So you had ऐसे players in the auction. Bishnoi थे who went to Rajasthan. So they didn't try to go for any of those players, and they just like I don't remember if they bid or whatever it was, but they never were in the bidding war to get the player. It was more probably to just increase the price. So I didn't understand the thinking, and fine, you didn't get those players. I don't understand how paying 13 crores for Livingstone was any sense, depending on whatever you required. So I think looking at what they needed, it was completely, I mean, I don't know. So that is there, and the other biggest weakness is Liam Livingstone, because uh, he's not just, I mean, I think as a player, he's not proven himself at all in the IPL. So as a batter, it's a liability. One more thing is that even if he does bowl a little, which might be your only thing that he might get out, that he'll bowl 2 or 3 overs if needed. That is the only thing. It also adds up a foreign spot that maybe someone like Ishan Malinga could have used, or you could have played Brydon. I don't know if Brydon Carse, but one of Brydon Carse हो या Jack Edwards हो या Kamindu Mendis भी हो. तो इनके सामने अभी 13 करोड़ लेने वाला Livingston will be playing. So I think they've kind of kind of worsened that team that it was already there with that purchase. So I think that is a weakness in my opinion. So the entire bowling attack, like I said, looks terrible. The pacers and the spinners both are not, I mean, there's no depth के लिए तुम छोड़ो, डेप्थ बाकी के टीम के लिए जिनके लिए मैंने बोला है कि भाई इनकी टीम दिखने में अच्छी है बट डेप्थ ही नहीं है, इनकी स्टार्टिंग में ही अच्छी नहीं है. तो डेप्थ भूल ही जाओ, डेप्थ में देयर इज नो, लाइक देयर इज नथिंग टू लुक एट. I'll take the names of the players. Nobody Krains Fuletra, Shivang Kumar, Praful Hinge, Amit Kumar, Sakib Hussain, Onkar Tarmale. इनमें से किसी का नाम ज्यादा हमने कहीं पे सुना नहीं है. I am not saying that there's like nothing there. Someone might come off, and as we've seen, breakout seasons for some players, but आपकी स्टार्टिंग में ही कोई नहीं है. तो आई थिंक शिवम मावी, आई डोंट थिंक स्टार्ट्स फॉर एनी अदर टीम. जयदेव उनाडकट डजंट स्टार्ट फॉर एनी अदर टीम. Zeeshan Ansari or Harsh Dubey are not starting spinners for any other team in the entire IPL. So all the other 9 teams. So I think that tells you that how weak the bowling attack really is. The only way for SRH to do well is if that batting team is just scoring runs that are not chaseable. Even though this bowling attack is worth, I mean, I, just saying that, I mean, अगर तुम बैटिंग करने हो 260-70 बनाते हो, तो even if the pitch is flat, it's hard to kind of score those runs in the second innings because of the scoreboard pressure. एक आध अच्छी ओवर जाती है, एक आध विकेट पड़ती है, तो obviously a lot of things change and the run rate just jumps up. So when you're chasing that big totals and you're starting off only with a required rate of about 12, तो उसके बाद आपको फिर वो एक आध दो ओवर से सीधा 14-15 इस पे जाता है, and then it kind of becomes hard to keep up with. So that is the only way for SRH. I'm not saying it's not possible because the batting is really good. Abhishek, the way he's playing right now, he will have a. I mean, he has to have a good IPL for them. Yeah, not just a good IPL. He has to have a phenomenal IPL. He has to probably win them single-handedly 5-6 games, 4-5-6 games at least for this team to do well. Because उसके अलावा head है, but I mean, I think it kind of depends on really his number one T20I player right now. So he has to kind of live up to that expectation that they put in from him. He was probably the best batsman last year as well. So if he does that again this year, it'll be good for them. But I think apart from that, Klaasen has not played much cricket. Obviously, retired from international cricket, he hasn't played. So how well will he come off? Obviously, we know what his strengths are. But I mean, it's a hard league to play in. You don't go just with experience or form. That's never enough. So a lot of things have to be right for you, and if you do them right, only then you get success. So that is there. Nitish Reddy ka, like I said, uska form kaise chalega? What exactly he will be doing? Where is he batting? Is he batting four? He batted six for them once? He batted at 4, 5 everywhere, 7 also I think once here and there, and he was not able to get bat on ball. So apart from that 100 that he scored in Australia, and right now in the third ODI where he scored a 50, which was a decent, I mean, it was a quite good inning. Uh, I haven't really seen him do that well with the bat, even for India. So in his first season when they went to the final, he was good, but after that it's been kind of a decline. He's gotten picked based on the fact that it's an all-rounder, and we've always in the last decade or so have been trying to find a backup all-rounder for Hardik, and we haven't been able to find one that is remotely close to him. So that is probably why he keeps getting those chances right now in ODI as well, because we're playing a World Cup in South Africa next year. Oh, वहाँ के pitches के लिए a fast bowling all rounder is obviously good to have. That's why he's I think getting chances. But apart from that, is I mean just looking कि ये इंडिया के लिए खेलता है तो obviously अच्छा ही होगा is not what really is what I'm trying to say. तो नितिश रेड्डी का थोड़ा पता नहीं. Aniket Verma had a good season and they'll hope he continues that. And Livingstone has to come off. I mean 13 crore दे के अभी वापस if he goes and plays has a tournament like Maxwell has had, it will be extremely bad for them. So Livingstone की batting ability पे question नहीं है, but I have seen, I mean everybody has seen what he's done. So I just feel like it'll take extreme good batting from this team and someone that nobody has expected from the bowling attack to just have a breakout season for them to have a chance. Because other than that, it's not looking good. Because every other team has a better bowling attack than them. Their batting lineup has the firepower, but none of the players are ready to adjust from and like change the way they bat. If they're playing all guns blazing, just to pass ball बोल रहे हो, जैसे वो senseless cricket थी. मतलब what those Harry Brook and all these people, the shots they were playing, Duckett भी बोलो, it was stupid. की situation पे क्या तुम कर रहे हो? So that kind of cricket is what they play. Even if it's T20 cricket and it is kind of fine, it is still is like you still need some sense when you're playing. And teams who play with sense. Abhi Virat Kohli is not someone who goes all guns blazing every ball. But I'm not trying to compare him with any of the players. I'm just saying the kind of approach that players have, you don't need always to be batting at that extremely high strike rate and trying to hit every ball for you to have a successful good strike rate inning at the end or to get two big score. You need to play calculative. I think you cannot just try to hit every single ball and say कि impact player है तो batting depth की वजह से we just going to maximize. तो एक दिन तुम 250 बना रहे हो दूसरे दिन तुम 100 पे all out हो रहे हो. So that really is not how it should be for you to win a title. It might come off और आपकी बैटिंग की क्वालिटी के हिसाब से आप जाओगे आगे और maybe you will get a chance to qualify. But to win titles, you kind of cannot rely on that, and that was exposed in 2024 when they lost in the final. 115 पे all out हो गए, the worst score ever in entire IPL finals history. So they still didn't learn in last year. So obviously जिस तरीके से वो मतलब completely their strategy failed, and still they've done what they've done in the auction this year doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, so we'll have to see what it is. Like I said, strengths weaknesses तो मतलब छोड़ो अभी bowling में कौन what are the roles of the bowlers? Shivam Mavi, is he bowling with a new ball? Because अभी आपके पास हर्षल पटेल है जो एक kind of slower bowler depth में है. Pat Cummins' is strength is to bowl in the middle overs in T20s. So you need a bowler who will come up and bowl with the new ball. So is Shivam Mavi going to do that? I don't think he's a very good swing bowler with the new ball, but he might have to do that. Or Jaydev Unadkat bhi cutters. Matlab, those are not bowlers who primarily bowl, with the swinging ball. So who's going to be doing that for you? आपके spin department में अंसारी और हर्षदीप में से एक अगर खिला रहे हो या दोनों खिला रहे हो जो भी तो भी like it's kind of everything is like kind of up in the air. लिविंगस्टन से ओवर निकालोगे फिर आपके पास अभिषेक भी है थोड़ा स्पिन के लिए नीतीश रेड्डी डाल सकता है तो देयर इज लाइक ऑप्शंस है बट I personally don't think that it's a bowling attack that can manage itself through a entire course of a tournament. So for me, I am I can confidently say that it's the worst bowling attack. It's just that their batting is there, otherwise I would have completely ruled them out. But that batting, if it comes off, if there's a chance that they can go and qualify. So that's what I feel about SRH. We'll have to really see how it goes for them because, yeah, like I said, it's yeah. I mean, that bowling attack is like I don't even need to say anything else. I think I've talked about it more than enough. So that is it for SRH, and I'll talk about Lucknow next.